good. Got a lot of work in, getting back to some of our fundamentals, making sure our tendencies and kind of looking at some of those on all three phases, and just getting back to really working on some things that we need to do moving forward in each phase, and then also getting back to some of your fundamentals, getting reps for some of those young guys. So it was a good off week. Guys worked hard and ready to get back, and it's a good day today.
Obviously, it seems like one of the big issues the last couple weeks, or at least the last couple games, has been the passing game under 100 yards. Just what have you looked at as far as trying to address that this week?
Well, one, getting in rhythm and sync. You have to, make your routine plays. We got to throw the ball better, obviously at the quarterback position, and make good decisions. Also, when we do, we got to execute and catch the football. Some of that continuity, some of the chemistry between quarterbacks and receivers, it's going to be a little different right now. Guys in, out, have been, but more importantly, you just got to get in rhythm with each other and being on the same page. It's something we've obviously had to work on here this past week and continue to work on this week. And at the end of the day, we got to figure out ways to, no matter what, we got to figure out a way to get in sync offensively, whatever that is. And just got to execute better.
Well, speaking to some of the continuity, I guess, obviously Austin Aune on this week's depth chart is the starting QB. I was just curious, what was really behind that decision?
It's not going to change. It's going to be what it is. We're going to trot a guy out there first every single week, and he's going to get out there and hopefully get in rhythm, move us, and if we need to change up, feel good enough about bringing the other guy in. We are where we're at in the sense of someone's got to take over and make plays and execute, and it's not just the quarterbacks, it's overall offensively, but just like at any other position. If you need somebody to come in and give the change up, or maybe need to come over and see the defense for a minute from the side and watch a little bit, it is what it is. So I'm not putting too much into who's what at this time. In the game, after the game, I'll tell you who the starter is for that game.
Did Austin do some good things late in your last game? Give you some confidence in it?
Yeah, I did some good things. He did. He made some good decisions. There's some obviously throws we got to be much better on. But again, we got to execute better all the way around. I think if you look at it, we missed on 3 deep balls drops, moving the chains on third downs. We had some crucial drops. I think we had 8 total drops, which you can't do. You got to execute better than that, and you got to help that guy out as well. So I thought he managed the game well. He used his feet well when he had to, with some of their drop 8 coverage to where when he had to get out and some of their 2-man or whatever, he ran the ball and moved the chains, which is I thought he was a lot more confident in that area, which is something we have to do. Again, just continuing to get better, continuing to get a day better and grow as an offense, and we got to get in rhythm.
Looking at some of the other changes, it looked like in your defensive backfield, Upton Stout now as one of the starting corners, and then John Davis and Quinn Whitlock competing for the other job. Just was curious what you've seen out of that group at this point.
Well, that's kind of how it ended last week. I mean, really, if you look at our depth chart, how did it end last game, and moving forward. So, again, very much at that position. Those 3 guys have rotated a lot this season. Some have been in and out due to some injury, but more so than not, those guys are all going to get in the rotation, and they're going to go out there and compete. And we feel good about where we're at there. I feel like all those guys can go out and make plays, and so that's kind of where it's at right now. Whoever gets the most snaps, we'll see throughout the game.
What are you looking for in Missouri?
What am I looking for?
Yeah, like what if the team? Sorry.
A win. That's what we come to prepare each and every week to win a football game. Missouri's a very good team. They obviously offensively do a lot of different motions, and they force you to keep your eyes right in the run game, and hit you with your boot slips, and then they got some explosive receivers that can get the ball downfield. And so I think they do a great job offensively. Their scheme, they got good players defensively. They're big on the back end. They're very long, athletic, and run up front. Big, strong, really good pass rushers, but they hold themselves very well in the run game up front. And so it's an SEC opponent. You know who you're facing. It's going to be a great challenge, but it's going to be a great opportunity. I know our guys are going to be really excited to go and play play an SEC game. I mean, what a great opportunity. If you don't come to playing big games like that, then probably shouldn't play football, right? So energy's been great. Again, it's about more than anything, I want to see our guys go out and compete. I want to see them play hard for 4 quarters, compete. And at the end of the day, the wins and losses take care of themselves. What you can control and what you can focus in on is doing your job, playing as hard as you can for 4 quarters, coaching as hard as you can for 4 quarters, trying to get, all of our guys on the same page and making sure we put them in good situations. But again, Missouri's a good team, and on the road, be a great opportunity for us to go compete.
They really struggled against the run this year, and of course they parted ways with their defensive line coaches. What is is that something that you guys can maybe look to take advantage of, considering running the ball has been your strength as a team?
Well, I mean, I think they played a really good offense this past week. Guys that run the ball very well, and everybody has games and ups and downs, and trying to figure out their new schemes, a new scheme for them as well. Probably just getting settled in on some of that. I think their structure, their defense, and play a lot of man coverage. They're going to press you up, and they're going to force you to make competitive plays in the run game because they're going to have extra hats at times. And so I'm not focused on what they've done in the past. I'm more focused on what our game plan is on them. I know they're going to be big, physical, strong, athletic guys up front. Again, they're very competitive and long and have speed in the back end. So we know the challenge. It's a matter of making sure we focus in on doing a great job trying to be as physical as we can, because it'll be a physical game.
In terms of Missouri's offense, you spoke about it a little bit. They've had one of the top passing offenses in the country so far. So just what are you looking at in terms of trying to slow them down in that aspect of it?
Well, I think, again, it's assignment football. It's making sure your eyes are correct with some of the motions and different stuff that can get your eyes out of whack and get you on other things other than your keys. And then you just your technique has to be great. Again, playing against really good competition. So on the back end, we're going to have great technique, making sure we're doing what we're coached to do. But at the same time, it's going to be about making competitive plays. They're a very explosive offense, and again, passing the football. Again, they do a great job running the football downhill, and so when you're having to add extra hats, that back end gets a little thinner. And so, overall, again, we got to focus in on, more importantly this week, if any, is just focus in on doing our job, focus in on making sure our mentality, the way we're playing, making sure we're playing with the right mentality and go out there and compete. It's all about going out and competing, and look, at the 4th quarter, we'll look up, and after the game, we'll see who wins and loses. That's part of every football game. But just play hard.
You'll see a guy from Denton this week. Were you familiar with Towski Dub when he played here in town, and has he had a pretty good season for Missouri as far as you can tell from what you've done study?
Yeah, haven't as much, obviously just getting on film and focus more on schematics and all of that. Yeah, good player.
DeAndre's kind of carried the load for you guys offensively this year, catching the ball, running the ball. He's been involved in special teams. How's he handled just the overall weight that you guys have put on him?
He's had to take a load, and especially, I think he's close to having over 80 snaps a game when it comes to everything. And again, last week we ended up being real thin. We had 2 running backs there at the end of the game, him and Io. Io finished out with came in and really had some nice carries. Did some good things, but it's just so happened to where one of our deeper positions preseasons probably it got really thin. And so hopefully we get some of those guys back this week, which we plan on, which will take some of the load off Torrey. When guys go down, that's whether it's at receiver, running backs, the more guys you lose, the more strain it puts on every other guys, with their reps, with their team reps, whether it's in a game or in practice. At receiver, same thing. Rod, Deontay having to take 75, 80 snaps at receiver. That's a challenge, and so you get worn down. And so we got to do a good job of trying to keep those guys as fresh as possible. That's where other guys have to come in, step up. And make plays. But I think that's DeAndre. He wants to carry the load. He wants to compete. He loves ball. He's reliable. We just, again, you get worn down. We got to get some guys around him to keep him a little fresher.
So he has handled it well, you think?
Yeah, he's handled it well. Again, he's been banged up early in the year, So it's just the nature of that position right now. And I think, coming off this bye week, getting some guys back, I think that obviously that room will be deeper, and I think he'll be fresher.
Does he take real good care of himself, just to get ready to take on?
He takes great care of his body. Again, the first 4 games or whatever we've played, I don't even know, but he's taken a lot of reps. He's had to take a bulk of that load, and he's handled it well. Again, he kind of got hobbled up there a couple games, but he's doing all the things necessary. That's a physical position, when you're getting those carries and all the things that we're asking him to do. That's part of it. So I think the biggest thing this off week with him was making sure he got his legs back, making sure his rehab, his nutrition, and all that was correct, getting him back fresh. And that's a lot of our guys, to be honest.
Yeah. You mentioned multiple times throughout the season here that Phil Bennett has made a big impact on your team, and and Coach Gush came with him. There are a couple older guys, guys that have been around the game a long time. How have your young players just developed a relationship and identified with those?
It's amazing how many guys, those young guys, and really our defense guys, just come up and thank me. They love Phil, and they love the whole defensive staff. They relate very well to our guys. They're great mentors. They're great coaches, and it's more than about football. But they do great. They're great teachers, and I think, when you communicate with your guys and they understand your scheme and all the different ways you can get them in positions for their success and their technique, and then you can coach them hard, but also you have build that relationship off the field. They do a great job of that. Phil's been around a long time. Coach Gush has been around a long time. All those guys, again, the defensive staff, they do a great job, relating with our guys, and I think that those relationships are crucial. And I think it carries over. That's for sure.
They still have that energy,
Yeah, I think the energy's been there. I mean, even so, I mean, we've had good energy. Effort's been there. I think last week, 2 weeks ago, with our last game, we got obviously caught behind early and kind of that barrage early, and we had some mistakes there. Obviously, offensively. But defensively, we had a couple busts there that cost us some big plays, explosive plays and touchdowns. And so, but the way the team bounced back, I mean, there was never any complaining, whining, pointing fingers. It was just keep going back to work, keep one play at a time. I thought they fought hard the entire game as a team, and that's what you have to have. I mean, you're going to be in a lot of competitive games. Our schedule is not going to get any easier, I can promise you. And so each and every week, again, it's about competing. It's about one play at a time, 1 quarter at a time, one half at a time. That's what you can focus on. The biggest thing is making sure you're focused on what you can control, and that's your alignment, your assignment, your effort, your technique. Those are the things that we got to do a great job of overall as a team, and be consistent as a team doing that.
No, but I mean, Phil and Jim still have that energy to coach.
Oh, yeah. Those guys, yeah, absolutely. Those guys are out there flying around, and I laugh half the time. Phil's got a knee or an ankle. He's out there running around. Maybe he rolls something, but he doesn't come out. He may have to go get a little treatment after practice, but they do a great job. Again, great energy. I think the world of those men, and again, I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, did you have to do some convincing people to come back?
Again, we've talked about it. I mean, we kind of know the story, but we've had a relationship in the past, and just our relationship, and me understanding kind of what I wanted, who I wanted to bring in, and it just fit. The timing was right, and just after our conversations, it just worked out. We're blessed that it worked out, and it's good for all of us.
I wanted to ask you about Lorenzo Thompson. He's missed the last couple weeks. You talked about hopefully getting some guys back like that. Is he one that you're
I hope so.
back?
I hope so. I think we're close. Again, I'm not a doctor, so at the end of the day, they have to make those decisions. But I think we're close. We'll just got to see how the rest of the week goes.